the audio isn't like on me. So I have my live streams. Yeah. Okay, cool. My live streams are good. I have Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, good, TikTok, IG, Casey and Bear. What do you think? Within 30 seconds.
That's frick. They're in yours and not mine. It's rude.
Yeah, they like me better than you.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. What's up?
You technically went live first. Guys, don't look behind me. Okay? I'm changing my bedding and doing laundry, so ignore that. This is not reflective of who I am every single day.
I mean, it technically is because she didn't clean it up, but it's fine.
Hey, I actually made my bed every single day in Austin. I don't think you guys made your bed once.
We did once the last day when we checked out. So, yeah, I needed a break. I was on vacation. All right, dude. You can hear me good, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we're good to go. Do you want to just hop right in? You want to banter? Give people a second? What do you want to do here?
Yeah, let's give people a second. We love bantering. I know it usually gets our vibes even higher.
That is correct. I don't know if you caught on the masterclass, Jess. You're like, guys, I'm so excited. You said something. You're like, this is just like a Zoom. And I was like, yeah, we're literally on a Zoom. Do you remember that, or you blacked out for that?
Did I say that?
Yeah, you're like, guys, this is literally.
Okay. I know what I meant, though. I meant like this felt like a team Zoom, like with our clients and stuff.
Right. I don't think you said that, though. And everyone was like, wait, we're on a Zoom.
Like, what are you talking about? We are on Zoom.
I was about to just end the call, but, it's fine. What's good, Steph? How are you? We got a couple other stragglers here coming in on IG. TikTok, what's going on? Chris, what's up, brother? So about to hop into a live podcast here in a second. We got a few platforms on. We got Coach Jess over there getting her set up, ready to roll. Thumbs up. Cool. Should we just hop in for the sake of time?
Yeah,
this is probably going to be, I think this is going to be like an hour episode probably, right?
Yeah. We have a lot to unpack, and I think a lot of value to give to everyone. I know our clients are super excited about this, so we probably should get into it.
Brad, what's up? All right, so I'm going to hit the recording. I'm going to count down from 3. I'll do my quick intro, and then we'll intro you, and then we'll hop in, and we'll go based off your notes, and we'll have a good time. Sound good?
Let's do it.
Cool. And ready in 3, 2, and 1.
Recording in progress.
What is going on, fam? Welcome back to another episode of the Shift Your Mind, Change Your Life podcast. It's your boy, and today I'm joined by our assistant coach, Coach Jessica. How are you? What's up?
I'm doing amazing. I feel like a new person. I feel like I leveled up 10 gajillion levels.
Gajillion.
That weekend.
Good.
So
we love that.
I'm excited for us to share what we learned and dive into what that really looks like.
I love it. Thank you for being here. So for those who don't know, Coach Jess was originally a client 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Have I had you on the podcast before?
I think we did do a live. So yeah, I think that
was like 2 years ago when you first had your transformation, right?
Exactly. I think that was maybe like 5 or 6 months into me being in the program and after like my initial transformation.
I think that was like early 2022, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Crazy. Time flies. Did you think during that time you'd be here in this position now?
Dude, it's so insane. I think about it all the time because I remember I got really close to our other assistant coach, Coach Ken.
Yeah.
In the group. And I was like, I literally vividly remember when you announced her as an assistant coach. And I was like, holy shit. Like, that's the dream.
Yeah.
Like, that's the dream. Wait.
Yeah.
I want that.
Right.
And so I remember I had a couple of conversations with her and I was like, do you like think so would bring me on? Like, do you
yeah. Does he think I'm cool? Oh, man, that's good.
Yeah. And then she was like, well, let me talk to him. Like, we'll see what's up. And then we got on the phone and the rest is history.
And here you are. I love it. So maybe just a quick, brief intro for those who don't know you and who you are for whatever reason that is. So why don't you just do that really quick if you don't mind?
Yeah, of course. So like we were just saying, I joined Sal's previous company, which was actually SB Fitness.
It's technically the same. We just rebranded, but yeah.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Well, obviously we rebranded because of our bigger mission.
Right.
Bigger impact we intend to make with the team.
What is that impact really fast?
We want to change the world.
How?
We have a big responsibility on our shoulders here, guys. But basically by bringing people into our program to really level up in their entire life, whether that's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. I think that our community serves as a space for everybody to come and be continuously looking to better themselves day in and day out. We want to break, generational traumas. We want to really lean into our people and give them the permission to show up as who they are and be the best versions of themselves in that, and to hopefully have them give that to other people in their life.
Amen. Yeah. That's the whole thing, right? We work with our clients, we improve them mentally, physically, emotionally to become better people, to improve their lives and the lives around their families, their friends, and just being better people in society. Because right now there's a lot of struggles that we're battling mentally, emotionally, and that's our job and our responsibility to help our clients work through that, and that's what we do every single day. So that's awesome. Thank you, Jess. And just a little bit again, just a backstory before we get into this, I want to make sure they know you and where you're from and all back at Jazz, and then we'll get going.
Exactly. So I joined as a client, with all of this in mind. I think I was in a place in my life where I tried everything. I started 6 or 7 fitness journeys, failed time and time again. I was in this all or nothing mindset. I would give it my all, lose weight, then gain it all back when I would give up. It was just in this repetitive cycle of just like never actually knowing what needed to get done to be able to lose weight and sustainably keep it on.
Right.
So that's why I originally joined. And I just remember like 6 or 7 months into it, once I got my initial transformation, I was like, I felt like I opened another portal. Like,
another dimension.
Cool. Like, I lost weight.
Yeah.
I looked great. I went on, took all the photos, feeling good in my skin.
Yeah.
And I just was like, there's got to be more to this. Like, something inside me just wasn't fulfilled. And so that's when I started diving into a bit more of the mindset and mental work that needed to go into just how I show up day in and day out.
Right.
I thought that the gym was great, and being able to heal my relationship with food was obviously incredible and has served such an immense purpose in my life. But I think that's something that I thought was, when I originally went through that first transformation, I thought that I was going to be fixed. Like, I thought that I was going to feel whole. I thought that I would feel good and just like kind of skyrocket into all of these things. And once I recognized that that wasn't the case, I was, it was a weird feeling because I was happy but disappointed.
Right.
And I couldn't pinpoint like what that was. So then I started on my healing journey about probably, I would say, a year ago. And it's been great. It's been rewarding, but I think that something that, just to give you guys more context into just my side of the business and my niche, is more of my focus now and what I'm bringing on clients to do.
Yeah.
Fitness is a huge piece, and I think that fitness is the physical evidence of growth, right? And I think it's very clear to see that.
Right.
But I do think that a lot of people are missing the mark in the sense that just because you look good and feel good doesn't mean you are good.
Oh.
I'm just like,
oh, here we go.
I'm going to be doing all of the work and showing you guys my entire journey through what that feeling looks like, and being able to show up as my true authentic self so that I can help people change and form into that as well.
Oof, man, that was good. Thank you for sharing that. So now, we gotta set the stage a little bit, because they're like, they might not know you. We're growing the podcast. We're getting a good amount of downloads on each episode, which I'm super thankful for. So if you are somebody that consistently listens to the podcast, just really quick, want to say thank you. We appreciate you. We just like to share information and get it out, and that's what this is, right? So getting into the topic of today here, Jess, I know we just spent an entire weekend together in Austin, Texas, which was fucking incredible, to say the least. And I know you had a lot of breakthroughs, and I know you were very nervous going into it. So now that you've come out on the other side, why don't we unpack a little bit about that experience, what we learned, and we can break a few things down there. What do you say?
Hell yeah. I love it. I'm so excited for this, because I think even just my journey of how I felt before going into this can be applicable and resonate to so many people out there.
Right.
Just like giving them that, that future of what I was going through, how I was feeling, and what that end result came back around to. Because I So I think there's going to be a lot of takeaways here from everybody that they can learn and obviously learn more about exactly what we're doing behind the scenes.
Yeah, for sure. I think a great place to start would be like, why were we there and what was it? Because I think there might be some people who don't understand what a mastermind is. So, how would you describe what a mastermind event is?
Absolutely. So I also didn't know, right? And I think what we did masterclass too.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people were a little bit confused. We had to explain like masterclass is training. We are essentially teaching you something, right? So to me, a mastermind is an event in which we are spending multiple days learning about specific topics, different coaching methods, along with an incredibly special niche that your mentor brings to this program, which is conscious leadership. So I think that it obviously is just an event for us to learn and grow, but I do think that there was an element of healing in that process, in being in those rooms and having the discussions that we were having.
Absolutely. I think that was very well said. Thank you for that. Because like I remember when I first was getting into it, I was like, I don't really know what a mastermind is. And everyone's like throwing around this term. I felt like, well, am I missing something? Like I was like, am I just dumb that I don't know what this is? So I just wanted to touch on that before we get into this, just again, to set the scene a little bit, because there may be some people who don't understand that, right? So we were literally in a small hotel room. Well, I guess it was more of like a conference room, you could say, right? It was like a conference, like ballroom for the 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And each day we had the speakers stand up, give their presentations. We did do a lot of workshops. Did you anticipate that or no? Jess had no idea what she was getting herself into before she got on the flight. I remember she was texting me before we went, and she was like, Sal, I don't know. I'm freaking out. Like, what do I wear? Oh my God. And I was like, hey, like, take a breath. Like, just trust me. Like, I got you. Right. So we were in the room doing the workshops. What did you think of the workshops? I know I'm kind of going all over a little bit. We'll kind of niche down here in a second.
No, it's good. So, I'm just, not to toot my own horn, guys, but I'm super proud of myself because, first of all, I also want to give a little bit of background. Sal is the one in Mastermind, right? Obviously, he is aware, or his coach or mentor is aware that he has a team. So,
yeah.
I, not reluctantly, but like blurted out to him one day. I was like, can I come to this event? Can I just come?
Yeah.
And, for some reason, I truly felt like God was speaking to me in that moment.
Come on.
I immediately regretted it when I said it. So I was like, wait, Jessica, do you know what that means? If you get on a plane, you go to this event, you're in a room with people who are like you, like, do you know what that means for you?
Yeah. What does that mean for you?
And I think that, I don't want to spoil it because this also does lead into my breakthroughs and stuff, but I think for me, coming to an event where, first of all, in a place where I feel so new and such a baby in the space, I've only been coaching for about a year, and I do think that I have spent a lot of time trying to learn and grow outside, right? Learning from you, learning from Chelsea, my mentor. So to kind of step into this room where it was going to be on a grander scale, I was like, holy shit.
Right.
I don't know what's going to happen after this. And, it's just scary. Just knowing nothing, knowing nobody going into it.
Yeah.
So I was like, not only do I have to try and make friends, but I also want to get a lot out of it.
Yeah.
When we're doing these workshops, to loop back around to your question, I was like, if I don't go big, I gotta go. So I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna ask questions, I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna do these workshops, I'm gonna give it my all, because you only get out what you give. So I was like, let's just fucking do it.
Say that again.
Belong to this program. I'm just here.
Can you repeat that last piece? You get out what you get. What did you say?
You get out what you get. Whatever you put into something is what you're going to get with it.
Oh, just write that down if you guys are taking notes. That's fucking good. And I gotta say, Jess, I told you this, but I was thoroughly impressed with how you showed up, because it's very easy to sit in the back of the room, not raise your hand, not really participate. Especially like, it's one thing when you're on Zoom and online, you can just turn your camera off, mute, like not say anything. But when you're physically in the room and like you make eye contact with somebody, it's kind of like, all right, like what am I gonna do? Especially when you spend the time, energy, and the resources, the financial side of things to get there, And it was amazing to see that. And yes, I'm the one in the group, but we get a +1 for the events because Nick is an absolute beast, So that was super cool. And Jess on one of our staff meetings was like, "Hey, can I come?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, you could come. What do you mean? That would be awesome." I think I had briefly mentioned it in like passing, but we didn't really talk about it. And then you kind of just, I guess sat on it for a little bit and decided to go. And why were you so nervous? Because you just, I guess, it was like the fear of the unknown, or what?
I think I was just nervous because I was going to be in a room full of people who were nurses and stuff. Or that's how I was perceiving it to be, right?
Right.
I think, guys, that perception here is we all go social media, we all look at what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
It's easy to be like, wow, look at their followers, look at their engagement, look at their likes, like really getting caught up in just like, the semantics of these things and not actually understanding and recognizing that there are people behind them. And so, I was just like, I'm over here with like my little 600 followers, like just showing up in a room with people with thousands and millions of followers.
Yeah.
It was something that was extremely intimidating to me. Not that I didn't believe in myself or know what I'm capable of, but just like, put yourself in a room with big fish, you gotta rise to that occasion. You gotta meet them where they're at.
Right.
And I think that something for so long I have kind of been trying to unlearn, putting myself in smaller rooms,
So
this was a completely different side of things.
Absolutely. And like I said, I'm super proud of you for that because not everybody has the courage to do that. And when you think about that, that's the reason why success happens, because you're putting yourself in these uncomfortable scenarios to force yourself to grow. It's like you don't really have a choice, So now with going through that, Jess, like how does it feel coming out of the other side? Like what were some of your takeaways, your breakthroughs? I know that's probably the meat and potatoes of this episode. So why don't we get into that a little bit?
Yeah, let's get into it. Because I think that it was so crucial for me to really kind of separate myself from myself, from the fact that, I've kept myself in this little bubble, doing this coaching thing, really leaning into it, doing so much effort, working with you, working with him, working with Chelsea, to really, get this thing off the ground. And I think that a lot of things that were holding me back were, just fear of opinions of others, judgment of others,
Right.
and kind of having to kill an old version of myself. So I think one of my biggest breakthroughs this whole weekend was recognizing that I have to separate myself from a version that used to play small.
Ooh.
Used to hold myself back and was just comfortable, kind of like being on the side, not being in main character energy. That was one of the things that in one of our workshops somebody said to me. They were like,
Right.
You need to live your life like you are the main character in it. And do what you want, what you think. Not living for others, not living for, other people's opinions and judgments and allowing those to cloud what you're here to do and what your purpose is. And, we were in breath work and I don't even know how to get into
That might be a different episode. So yeah.
Definitely a different episode, but essentially, guys, we did like deep meditation where we're really like healing and releasing emotions that we've probably stored up for years. It's probably been years for me. And, I was just sitting there like just wanting to hold the inner child in me because I knew I had abandoned myself for so long for just to show up and please everyone else, just to show up and be that friend or that daughter or that sister or that girlfriend for everybody else besides who I was truly inside. And I'd done that for so many years that I lost myself and I didn't know who I was, and I was deeply disconnected from my sense of self, from my own worthiness, from just feeling convicted in the way I want to move in life. I have always had this dream, like, of, impacting people, helping people. I have volunteered through so many organizations. I've always done it through my corporate job, through all the jobs that I've had. My dad was a big advocate for Habitat for Humanity. I
Mhm.
And that kind of led me to dealing with like, do I really belong in a 9 to 5?
Right.
Which, led me to obviously being here and
Mhm.
recognizing that this was a possibility and there was something that actually made sense to who I was on the inside that I could, make a living off of and make an impact.
Mm. I just wanted to pause there because there's so many good things, and there's so many directions that we could. This would probably be best suited for those listening to focus mainly on the breakthroughs. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
So, what would you say was your like number one biggest takeaway and breakthrough from this past event?
Yeah. So kind of diving a bit deeper into living for me, right? Like making decisions based on what makes me happy. Moving forward in the direction. Like obviously I'm not trying to sit here and say I don't want to regard anybody else in anything,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
I think the big fear of mine was feeling and appearing selfish and really focused on my vision and my goal in life, which is true. Like if I want to make my dreams come true and I want to have the level of impact that you're going to have in this company, I have to focus on that. I have to put that first. It's literally my responsibility.
Mm.
And that is something that I really took away from this event is not just looking at this as, oh, this is something I want to do, it feels good, but that I have a responsibility to show up on social media in front of people to claim my truth and say, this is me, this is where it used to be, to tell my story and to show people that there's another way to live. Because this country is sick. People are not happy.
Right.
Like, and I used to be one of them. I used to just be stuck in the rat race, living for everybody else, every other thing, not recognizing that I had a choice in my life.
Mm. Fuck, man, it's so good. Like, you can stay there your whole life. And I think something that popped into my brain as you were saying that all those incredible things is complacency is where a lot of us get stuck, and just the comfortable routine of doing the same things. You're just like, it's not that bad. I'm fine. I'm good. Don't worry about it. But then, like you said, you kind of get to this place where you feel so disconnected and you're just not okay. So then you're wondering, well, how do I change this? And that's essentially where you start to begin to ask the questions, and it leads you most likely into the healing journey. Or it usually, like you said, starts with the fitness side of things and working on your external state. And then once you get the physical transformation, you're like, not enough. Then you go internal, and then you start to do that, and then it's like a can of worms. You just start to unpack all the shit. You realize there's so much more you need to do. And then I think you said that once we got back, I think it was day 2 or day 3, where Nick talked about like opening the door and seeing everything. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, this weekend you opened the door and you saw what was inside of that, right?
Yeah. I literally opened the door. I saw there's 7 gajillion people, and I was like, I'm conscious and I'm awake right now,
Yeah.
and I would never be able to live with myself if I closed this door and just walked away.
So what does conscious mean to you?
So for me, it means taking responsibility for myself and accountability for the ways that I was being a detriment to my own life.
Hmm.
And I think that that is something that I really want to focus in on too within my program, because I think guys, like at the end of the day, as much as you want to point the finger, blame others, say, oh well, this person's living like this and they do this and they do that. You are responsible for your own life. You are responsible for the decisions and choices that you make day in and day out. And I was making wrong decisions and wrong choices for myself.
Right.
And that was what was not getting me to where I'm at right now.
Hmm.
If I had never made the choice to fly out to Boston, I would never be able to sit here with the conviction of knowing that I can lead others into the light the way I have been led there.
Conviction.
Yeah.
That's
I'm aware. I know it's my duty. I know that it's my job to help the world see that. Because we are surrounded by constant social media constructs, the media in general out there, that this world is bad, everyone's bad. You are supposed to just live in this rat race, hate life, live for the weekends, or nutrition system is just out of control.
Right. Right. Right.
But so many external factors that are keeping so many people sick.
Right.
And it's just normalized. Like the fact that drinking is normalized is
crazy.
insane.
Yeah.
Like you're poisoning your body.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, there's not one person on here who can tell me that they feel good after drinking. I don't think I've met one person ever.
No, they're not like, hey, I got hammered. I feel amazing today. Probably not.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
So
not how it
like,
works.
I'm not even saying that feeling guilty that I'm going to offend somebody because it's just a fact.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think before, I was afraid of that.
Why?
I was afraid to speak my truth and say my truth and own it because I was afraid people weren't going to believe me or they weren't going to agree with me or they weren't going to think that what I was doing.
So what you're saying is the potential fear of judgment kept you in a box.
Absolutely.
Interesting. Why do you feel that is?
And that's why I say it's your responsibility and how it leads into consciousness, right? So it's like I was doing all these things subconsciously, you know, keeping myself stuck, pulling myself back, playing small, right? Because I wasn't aware that there was another way.
Right.
And that's most of America. So that's what I'm saying.
Most of the world, yeah.
Yeah, that's most of the world, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I opened this door to consciousness, saw that there was another way, saw that there was, you know, just an endless path that could lead me down a road of being content, being happy, and truly at peace with just me and who I am and what I believe. And that's where I was like, holy shit, like, I hit the mother load. Like, I hit
the jackpot.
Just being able to know and feel it in my bones that
Right.
this is my duty and this is my purpose in life.
Dude, like
I'll serve others.
bars.
Bars. And
Yeah.
I don't want to keep talking because I want you to dive into this question as well.
Yeah.
Because, you know, for my followers here, obviously I've been with Sal for a while, and I got to know him on an extremely personal level this weekend. But I think that your breakthroughs are as extremely important as a man too.
Right.
Also, kind of coming to consciousness and understanding what we're talking about. You know.
Yeah.
We're journeying through this, so I want to throw this back to you.
Yeah, I'll get to that in a second. Just really quick, like, what did you? Because I know you said on a much more personal level. Am I the same off camera or what?
You're getting there.
Wow. I am getting there.
No, but I'll explain that because it's not that he's fake. It's just that
thank you.
you show up as, you know, like you have to teach, you have to different values,
Right.
you have to be this authoritative figure, right? And I think that's something that we all needed permission for this weekend
Yeah.
to be ourselves, and that we can still teach people things and show them the way without having to be this like militant, I follow this way, and this is
Yeah, it's not fun. Right.
right.
Yeah.
So I think for you, leaning into that, you know,
Right.
is something that's important.
Yeah.
And definitely an incredible thing to get to see. And, you know, being able to just joke around and be silly and be funny. You know, because guys, like, we're in a work setting, right? Like,
Yeah.
like this is my job. So we don't just like get on here and like fuck around. Like,
Yeah. We take it pretty serious. Yeah.
Work to do. Like,
Yeah.
we take it seriously. So
Yeah.
I think for me, just our relationship in general, it was extremely bonding for us to be able to connect on like such a human level.
Yeah. No, for sure, because we do definitely grind, but I think there's a time and place for that. Like you said, you know, I think I'm getting into a season of trying to take things less serious and just, you know, embracing having more fun. I think what you said before, you said something along the lines of being content. And I think there's a difference between being content and fulfilled, right?
Yes.
So I think the whole, you know, idea of this episode and what we're working towards on ourselves and in our program is true fulfillment. Would you agree?
Right. And so I'm content in the sense that, guys, we're not looking to chase the next thing.
Right.
We're not looking to be like, okay, I want to make more money, I want to have a relationship, I want to have this.
Right.
But being actually genuinely happy and at peace with what you do have in your life. Having that level of gratitude to be able to be like, no, like you said, I'm fulfilled. This is amazing.
Right. So to go back to your question, where do you feel like would be the best place to start? Like, what were you looking for specifically? Just to make sure I give the best one here.
Yeah, I just want to know, what do you think? Like, because I said this to you multiple times. I said that to everybody in the house. I came in as one person and I left a different person.
Mm-hmm.
So for you, what did that look like on your end? Because you've obviously been involved in masterminds. You've been, at these events. Someone won a freaking award. Everyone, yeah, I posted about it. I literally cried, tears.
You did cry. That you almost made me cry. I was close.
I cried because I do know your work ethic. I do know how hard you work, and it's so incredible. Obviously, when it's recognized, everyone
Right.
feels good when they externally get validated that what they're doing is enough, right? And I just know the grind and the tough conversations that we have had to have just being in this, company it's not always easy. So
Definitely
I'm
not.
just so proud of you for getting recognized for it.
Thank you. I appreciate you. It's funny. Every mastermind I join, I get awards. So I must be doing something right. But I think that stems into what I took away because obviously I'm at a different place in my journey. But it's not to say that like we can't learn similar things. I am getting to a place where I think when I was first beginning, I had a lot of doubt and like questioning myself of like, well, I really want to be this person, but I don't know if I like truthfully believe it to my core, right?
Right.
And I think through the work that I've been doing the last 6 months, with Nick and all the things that we've been focused on, it's allowed me to see myself and this life in a different light, which has been, and I think I said that on the mic, for my speech. I said it's like a newfound hope essentially, because I think for a little bit I kind of lost that. I started to not like, I'll just be honest, like I was slipping into a little bit of a dark place because I didn't see a way out, and I think that's how I could understand how people fall into a depression and think about like suicide and those sort of things, because I've been there. And I think mentally you get to a place where you don't see a way out and you're convicted in that. You're like, this is it. There's no way I can't get out. And I think for a little bit I was there. So through doing this work and continuously putting myself in the room, it's allowed me to see it in a new light. And like you said, because of that, now we could lead from a better place, a more genuine, authentic, purposeful, happy place, for lack of a better word. And for me, that gives me a lot of peace. And that's the season I'm in. It's like fun, peace, and fulfillment.
I love that. I love that so much because I do think that there is a level to this too, that like we look at these things and we determine our success off of like the money that we're making or the clients we're helping,
Right.
or not having a full roster. But there's so many other indicators where if we're continuously learning and growing, putting ourselves in these positions to, quantum leap levels, right? All we can do
Yeah.
is continue to share that and share our story and have fun with it.
Mhm.
And it be something that we're taken seriously for. We don't have to put on this mask to say, this is who I am. Like, follow me because I'm like this, right?
Right.
But we can actually drop it and drop the armor and drop, these facades, pretending that we're these perfect people, because actually people will relate to them. People will be able to resonate and understand, wow, shit, I get what Sal's saying. Like, I've been in that period too. In fact, I'm there right now. And I don't know how to get out of it.
Right. I think dropping the armor is very, very well said. And I think that gives those who are listening a very good visual, because, I'm big on analogies. I guess it's starting to rub off on you. Hey. So, yeah, for those who are listening, Jess, like, what would you say is like one of the biggest things that you can give them today? Like I'm trying to think of the person that tapped into this episode and was really looking for some form of, breakthrough, takeaway based on your experience from this weekend. What do you think you could give to that person today?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
And guys, I have 10 pages of notes. So, how long you got?
We got about 20 minutes here.
I'm joking.
I wasn't. I got a call coming up, so yeah.
I think the biggest thing is that, guys, like, you're already worthy. You already deserve to have every piece
No.
Nobody else told me to feel certain ways.
Right.
Right?
Right.
I did that to myself. So I think in this whole journey, just knowing that it starts and ends with you was so liberating for me because I was like, okay, I can do this. Like, I can change my life. Nobody can do that for me. And then once you do it, nobody can take that away.
Right. So what was that shift for you? Did that occur this weekend?
Yeah.
Really?
For sure.
How was that?
I think that for me, it was finally letting go of the external validation I've been reaching for my whole life.
Wow.
In coaches, in teachers, in work environments, in bosses, in my parents, constantly being caught in this loop of, well, if somebody tells me I'm good, then I'm good.
Right. Right.
Good.
Right.
And telling myself I got me.
Hmm.
Through that breathwork session, I ran up to the little me, my little inner child. I grabbed her and I said, I fucking got you.
Hmm. Damn, dude.
That was it. Yeah, that was history.
So, Jess, what you're saying is for almost 30 years, you spent your life looking for external factors to validate your worth.
Right.
And then through this weekend, you saw in a different light that you could get that from yourself. Wow. Come on, man. Wow. Come on, man. That's fucking, I mean, how do we beat that? What other notes do you have? I mean, that's just, we can just end it right there. Shit. Now,
I really, and this is what I'm also like really getting clear on in terms of who I can help and how I can help them. And, for the longest time, I thought I had to have all this knowledge and I had to, get my CPT and do all these things to have the certifications to be this person that people were like, yeah, I want to pay you. But I think all I really needed was the conviction in my story and in myself and what I did for myself and just how that could help somebody along, right? You do these podcasts for free. This is free information.
Yep.
And obviously there are structures, there are tools that we need to equip our clients with to get those results.
Right.
But I think that being able to explain and share our experiences and stories and how we overcame these things is all we need to be able to be successful coaches and mentors.
Yeah, and also just to expand on that too, like you said, this podcast is free. And it is because I'm passionate about it. And I think that everybody should be in the mindset of trying to learn and grow. Because if you're not, then people are just doing fucking laps past you, right?
And I'm so happy that you said that too, Sal, because something that I also recognized being in this room and listening to other people's stories, even listening to Nick's story, who, I don't even know what Nick's work, but he makes a lot of money. So
It's worth to get it out, yeah.
He started from the same place all of us did.
Yep.
He didn't have an advantage. He actually lived in a trailer park. He actually had it worse off than me.
Yep.
And was able to get to the level of success he's at now. And that's where I just was able to look at myself in the face and be like, dude, it's your fault. Go fucking do something about it.
But nobody wants to take ownership for that.
Yeah.
We want to point the finger. We want to blame the circumstances, and we want to use everything in our power to say it's not me. Why?
That's a good question. And it's something that I really reflect on and think about because I wonder what made me change? Why did I do this?
Yeah.
Why did I start this?
Right.
And I think I just got so sick and tired of feeling so sick and tired of feeling like shit about myself, of looking in the mirror, feeling like I don't have anything to show for what I'm about and who I am.
Right.
I just couldn't take it anymore. And I feel like we've had a similar feeling.
What you tolerate persists. So until you're absolutely no longer willing to tolerate something, then you'll change. I don't think it has to get to that. And I've made posts about that in the past. So hey, you don't have to hit your rock bottom in order to make a change. But usually us humans default to Once it gets that bad, then we'll wake up.
Right. Right.
I mean, you could even make that argument for my hospital visit. Like, me working myself into the ground, and I was like, I don't really care. Like, we need to grow. We need to do this, and that, until I was forced to be like, hey, take a seat, buddy. And I was like, oh shit. And then I realized the pace that I was playing at was just not sustainable and also just not good for my health. But I think that was something that I needed, because now I'm building from a place of just better energy. I would hope that you would agree with me on that, right? Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And that brings me to the idea as well, as that we are doing this, guys, alongside you.
Yeah.
Like, we are living, breathing embodiments of what we preach.
Yeah.
Like, we don't go out here and say, oh, we do X, Y, Z, and we're not doing it ourselves.
Right.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
like, you don't miss in the gym with your macros, with meetings,
Nope.
with showing up. You don't miss,
No.
right? And I think for me, just knowing that I'm going to be going a little bit more in the mindset and mental health direction, I cannot miss when it comes to meditation, taking time to be still, pouring into myself, because that is what I'm going to preach.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And you
Doing
also,
this inner work.
yeah, I mean, I just think about this, like, how could you possibly help somebody through something that you haven't experienced?
Yeah.
Or you're not actively working on it? It doesn't make sense, and that's where for me, it gives me a lot of certainty, because I'm like, well, okay, the harder I push myself and then the more that I learn, the more equipped I become to help other people. Remember I told you that when we were at Starbucks, and I made the stair analogy. Do you remember the whole thing where you could explain it?
Yeah. So, like, I mean, I like the mountain one better. It's like if you're looking at a
Okay.
mountain, right? And
Yeah.
you see you have all of this way to go to get to the top. You're going to sit there and be like, what the fuck, how am I going to get there?
Right.
But if you just start taking one step every single day up that mountain, you're eventually going to reach there.
Right.
The big problem with society is if you want to reach the mountain by tomorrow,
Yeah.
just mountain by tomorrow. And that is why, it's a full gratification thing in society. Everyone wants, easy, fast results, quick gratification. They don't want to deal with having to wait to get anything. Right? Look at the way Uber Eats. Like, I was thinking about this when we were like ordering food over the weekend. I'm like, damn, we didn't have to do a thing. All we had to do was order what food we wanted. It was delivered, and we got to sit there and just enjoy our time. Right?
Awesome.
Instant gratification.
Yeah.
It's constant.
It is. And that's, why we do what we do, is because we're trying to help people unlearn these behaviors, because through that process, you could become a person that is capable of seeing some massive change. So I have a couple minutes here, Jess, if there's anything else you'd like to share. I think we covered a good amount of ground. I don't know if there was any, a few topics that you had that you wanted to make sure you got out that maybe we missed.
I don't think so. I feel like I have my biggest thing that I really wanted to cover is my breakthrough, and also what you just asked about what people can take away from this experience.
Yeah. Right.
Just also understanding who we are as people and the level of commitment that we have made to go into making sure we are leveling up ourselves so that we can continue to help our clients do the same.
Mm-hmm.
And because I think that the space is so saturated, right? I know that there's so many coaches out there doing what we're doing, claiming certain things, and I can imagine that some people are scared. Some people don't trust us. Some people don't feel or believe that we could get them the results that they're looking for.
Right.
So I just hope that, by sharing and being authentic and being genuine, we can show them how much our team of coaches actually cares about what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That we're willing to put in the level of work and commitment that we do every single day so that they can win. Not so we can win, so that our clients can win and we can impact the world on such a bigger scale.
Yeah, like I want to help people so bad that I'm just like, come on, like I just want to shake it out of them sometimes, but you can't force people to change. And I had to learn that the hard way over the last few years. But I don't know. I just think the more I think into this, the more special I feel like these conversations are and the things that we're doing. Anybody could do this. I've said that to you before. It's like, I'm not a superhero. I'm not this and that, because like you said, with Nick and all the people that I follow who are, doing some incredible things, everyone starts somewhere. So you want to go on social media right now and compare yourself to somebody who's on chapter 40, but you're on 2 and you're like, I don't understand. Isn't that comical? And it's just like, that is the purpose of hiring a coach and working with a mentor, because they could help you accelerate the process. You know, like Nick, for example, 13 years.
I know.
13 years. So, you know, for me, I get
many vision changes in that process too. Like
24.
It wasn't just like he woke up one day and he knew, and he was like, I'm just gonna do this, right? It comes with the involvement of self that really contributes to the impact that you're gonna make.
Mm-hmm.
It's like how you are doing and moving in your life and working to remain a student. We say this all the time.
Right.
We are sitting here every single day. Like, one of my biggest takeaways that I'm implementing on a day-to-day basis now is 20 to 30 minutes of learning.
That's it. Yeah.
And just reading, you know, taking a course, listening to a podcast, you know, really digesting information, and so that I can share it, so that I can listen to it, so that I can actually, you know, prepare myself, equip myself to help others, right? Mm-hmm. And that's all I can do in this process, is continue to be a student and continue to make that commitment to learning and, you know, evolve over that time.
I think that's all any of us can really do, is put forth effort every single day. I think a lot of us talk about the things that we want to do and we say we want these things, but when push comes to shove, we compromise. I'll do it tomorrow. Maybe later. I graduated college back in 2019 and pretty much spent my whole life without reading a book cover to cover. Did I ever tell you that? Yeah. And I think within the last 1 to 2 years, I've probably read 30 to 40 books cover to cover, maybe more. I don't really know off the top of my head. There's a whole bookshelf behind me if you're here live. And I've cranked every single one of those simply because of what you just said. Literally 10 pages a day. It's just like literally that simple. So if you're listening to this and you're wondering, like, how do I make improvements? It's not these drastic things, like you said, Jess, right? Of looking at the mountain. It's finding these small daily commitments every single day that are going to move the needle forward, but you're actually doing them. You're not talking about it. You're not saying all these massive things, because I've been guilty of that as well. Oh, I'm going to start fucking 40 conversations on every platform every day, you know, so we can keep our pipeline full for our company. But it's like, you know, come on, you know, so let me just do 5 new combos.
Exactly. And right? I think that blew my mind. Like when Nick was telling us, you need 5 daily non-negotiables.
That's it.
5. And most of them you can do within an hour, right? 5 to 10 pages of reading, 5 to 10 minutes of meditation, 5 to 10 DM conversations. You know, obviously working out, I like to spend at least an hour. That's just my preference.
Well, right? Not this weekend, but yeah.
Hey,
I know. I'm kidding. Jess did a great job when we did shoulders.
So that's 4 right there.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, it really isn't this big overtaking or overhaul that you need to put into your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's truly just finding the things that are going to make you show up for yourself and stay committed to that, guys, because that's what it's about. It's about integrity. It's about saying, hey, I'm going to do these 5 things. And when you do those 5 things, you feel accomplished. When you feel accomplished, you want to go out and do more. When you go out and do more, you have more success. It's just a compounding effect over time.
It's pretty simple when you think about it like that, right?
Nick simplified so many things like that we all want to overcomplicate.
I think that's just human nature, and that's something that's another takeaway. There's so many takeaways we can't really fit it into this episode. We might have to run this back. Jess, I got to bounce in a second. So is there anything you'd like to share before we wrap up here?
I don't think so. I think that the last thing that I will say, guys, and something that really woke me up this weekend was, it's easy to play extremes.
Oh.
You sit around, be lazy, and do nothing.
Yeah.
And it's easy to take massive action, uproot your whole life, and make the decision to change. What's difficult is finding the balance between those two and being able to stay committed in that. It's not about showing up at 100% or 0%. It's about finding that balance in between. So
that sounds like the it sounds like the all or nothing mindset, which I'm pretty sure is one of the biggest topics that we covered on that masterclass, right?
Yeah.
So if you're somebody that has not seen or attended our How to Stay on Track masterclass that we did. I think that was maybe a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this and you want the recording of that, just DM me the word masterclass and I'll send it over to you.
You guys can DM me too on my feed. I'm also going to post this on my feed and I'll make that the comment as well.
Yeah, masterclass will send you over the recording because that was a really good conversation. We have so much content. We built out the whole free course. We have the ebooks. I have 400 episodes in the bank. So there's a lot of information here for you guys to digest and learn shit. You just have to want it. And like you said, Jess is just really simplifying the game and not overcomplicating it, and refining that time and time again is what we've done. So hope you guys got some value. You're all good? Cool.
Great. Thank you so much for your time and listening.
Yeah. Thanks for hopping on. We appreciate you. Yeah. Hope you guys have the best day ever. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Much love. Peace, love, protein. And I'll chat to you soon. Peace.
Recording stopped.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna kill this over here. I gotta bounce, so I'm just gonna hit the call here. I'll upload it and I'll send it over to you when it's done.
Thanks,
Sound good. All right, Jess.
Good.
Appreciate you. I'll chat with you soon. Bye.
Peace.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have the best day ever, and I'll chat with you guys soon. Peace.